ABC, it's Greeno. We're into 2014. Back to work. Hating it. Got used to having all that time off over the holidays and back into another year. So, first video of 2014, I believe, yeah. And I've been out. Got a couple things, but for the most part, just been listening to stuff that's here I needed to get to, and thought I would share. So, kind of jump into it. What's playing in the background, if you can even hear it, Flotsam and Jetsam, No Place for Disgrace. Had this for a long time. Just I like listening to it tonight. It's on Elektra, second album, first album without Newsted, 88. He was off to play bass in Metallica. A couple things before the vinyl, just real quick. Picked up a cool book, VJ. Was it The Unplugged Adventures of MTV's First Wave? And if you're around my age, you watched MTV in the early 80s with the original 5 VJs before it turned into what it is now, which has nothing to do with music. But anyways, this is a great book. I mean, I read this in one setting, started it and didn't put it down until I was finished with it. It's just really good. It's not really like, a bunch of dirt. There is some in here. They pretty much speak their minds on some of the artists, from that time. But, it's just a really good book. And so I would suggest that anybody, if you watch this stuff when it was happening, this will be very interesting, I think, to you. If you're not into MTV of the 80s, you ain't gonna like this. And if you're younger and you just know modern MTV, chances are you probably won't like this either. But I thought it was a fantastic book. Grabbed a couple DVDs just real quick, music DVDs. Thanks to Vance on this one. I'd heard about this movie being made, and actually have a friend, his son does little extra. He's like an extra in movies, he'll be standing in a crowd somewhere or whatever, and supposedly he's in here somewhere. I wasn't able to spot him, but it's the CBGB movie. This was pretty good. I mean, they nailed the bands pretty well. Everybody they cast as a band member, from the Ramones to Blondie to Television. They all look pretty good, and it's an entertaining movie. It's not like a full-on documentary or anything. It's mainly about Hilly, the guy that started the club, but I give it a thumbs up. Check it out if you dig that New York punk scene. And finally grabbed this. Been wanting to find this for a while. It's Saxon, Heavy Metal Thunder. And it's a documentary about Saxon, and then it has a bonus DVD that has a bunch of live stuff and some other old footage. But this was really cool. I'm sure Punk Texas John has showed this at some point. But if you dig Saxon, this is really good. Alright, into the vinyl. Found this on eBay. Hadn't got anything off eBay for a while. Grabbed this. It was pretty cheap. It's brand new on vinyl, anyways. The Crimson Ghosts, Some Kind of Hits, and it's pretty killer. It's Crimson Ghosts is a band that does covers of Misfits tunes, but they're instrumental surf, 60s sounding, no vocals, just dripping in reverb. Just really cool. The cover was actually done by Eerie Vaughn, and like I say, these are still on eBay. The label, I think, has them up. And what it was this come out like in the mid 2000s on CD, and they just pressed them to vinyl for the first time. They only did 300 of them, and it was like $14 shipped, you know, including shipping. It was $14 total. And this was really cool. I mean, definitely glad I grabbed it. Show the vinyl real quick. It's like a cool marble kind of gray. And I dig the custom labels. Hopefully the camera's picking that up. But really enjoyed this. If you like the Misfits, it's pretty interesting. They do them really well. You know, like I said, if you like the Misfits, as soon as they start, you'll know the songs. They're really good. Had this forever. Just kind of pulled it out to listen to. TNT, Tell No Tales. Great band from Norway. Incredible guitar player. Let's see if I can remember here. Ronnie Latikra. Ronnie Latikra, I think is how you pronounce it. Like I said, I've had this for a while. Had this back when I was a kid. This is actually a promo copy. Actually picked up another copy of it that isn't promo. I might have picked that up not long ago. Had this sitting around forever, just threw it on. It's been in the in pile for a long time. Hooters, One Way Home. Great 80s band. And I'm going out on a limb. Weren't they from Pennsylvania? Is that right? Somebody leave a comment, because I can't remember. Liked them. Was never a huge fan. Don't know a lot about them. 70s find. Point Blank. I think this is their first album. Mid-70s, 76. Just 70s rock. Southern rock a little bit thrown in. Got a couple other albums by these guys. Really cool. Another Savoy Brown, Raw Sienna. I don't really ever see this, and usually it's pretty banged up. And this one's, you know, not anywhere near perfect, so it's in pretty good shape overall, and just good, yeah, blues rock from back in the day. This I just picked up, and this is just, I've never seen this around before, so. It's a laser disc. Deep Purple, Californian Jam, 1974. And when I bought it at the store, the girl behind the counter was like, you know that's not a record, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know. But it's from Japan. It's got the OBI on it here. And, you know, it's pretty cheap, so I grabbed it. Just kind of cool, something weird to have. And actually, I don't have a Laserdisc player, but I have a friend that does. So... excuse me. Probably take it over and pop it in and see what it looks like. Probably like a bad VHS, I'm guessing. This was kind of cool. I didn't even know this was out. It had been reissued, and when I came across it, I just snagged it up. And this probably the only thing I've bought so far this year from a store. This and actually that Deep Purple. It's a reissue of the first Thin Lizzy on Light in the Attic. This is really good, really well done pressing. Packaging is fantastic. Comes with a poster, the whole nine. And it actually has there's two covers for this. See if I can show it here without making too much of a mess. Hands are all dry. Let's see, it's at the UK, now I can't remember. And this was the US. It might be reversed, I can't remember now. And this is the back of what would be, this would be the front, this would be the back. So, like I said, really good packaging. Got a nice insert with all kind of information. It's like 4 pages, just packed full. And pretty cool poster. Phil. Light in the Attic doesn't screw around. I mean, I think I have one other pressing from them, and it's just as good as this. But I'm really happy with this. Like I said, I didn't even know it was out. I've had it forever on CD. I have a Japanese press CD. I can't remember where I grabbed this, or it's like this came out in 1990. But I never see this, the first Thin Lizzy. I've never seen an original out in the wild, other than maybe at a record show on a wall and somebody wanted whatever for it, way too much. So I went and grabbed that, relatively cheap, and it's a pretty good album. You know, it's not as good as later into the 70s, but it's Thin Lizzy. It's really worth checking out. Next, Status Quo, Rockin' All Over the World. It's pretty cool. It's a UK import. Picked it up cheap a while back, and it's just standard Status Quo. Let me get these right here. Found this back before Christmas sometime. Was really happy. I've had this on CD for a while. Sortilege. This is an EP. They're a French band, French metal band from the 80s. And had to grab it. I'd never seen this in the wild. I actually grabbed a couple French metal albums at this place, this being one of them. And really cool band. A little pricey, but the guy worked with me, got the price down a little bit. It's on Rayvon Records, 1983. Really cool band. Just if you like 80s metal, it's right in there. It's in French though, which to me is no big deal. But I know some people don't like vocals in different language. Savage Grace, the Dominatrix. Pretty killer. Old Metal Blade, early Metal Blade release. Had this for a while too. Actually had a beat up copy of this. This is kind of an upgrade. But I'll hang on to the beat up copy because you don't see these, and if you do, they're really pretty pricey usually. Didn't do bad on that one. Finally listened to this, Queensryche, Frequency Unknown. This is the version with Jeff Tate, and skip this. Just that's all I can say is skip it. The other version without Tate is amazing. This is just a waste. It's okay. It's just music. Listen to it, and by the time the needle lifted up, I done forgot what it even sounded like. That's kind of bad to say, I guess, but it's just not that good. It's like, and it's on Deadline. I think he just trying to get the name out there with him singing, because they got that, I guess, the fight going on over the name, and this is just kind of put together and not worth messing with. And you can actually get that on Amazon. At one point, it was down to like $8. Normally, it's around like 11 or 12. It's even that cheap. But you know how Amazon's up and down. Grabbed this a while back. I can't remember, probably a month or better. It's Jimi Hendrix Experience Miami Pop Festival. It's another great release from the Hendrix family. Really good, 2 LP set. And you know, what can I say? It's everything they've done since they got the rights back to his music has just been stellar. Any of these new Hendrix albums that are coming out are just great. If you dig Hendrix, you know, check them out. They do a great job with it. The Cynics, 12 Flights Up, some garage. It's on Get Hip from 1994. Cynics, man, they got a ton of albums and they're all good. Part of that garage revival. Found this when I found the Sortilege Panzer, and I'm not even going to try and pronounce the name of the album. This band is from Spain, and again, lyrics or the vocals aren't in English. It's actually on Mausoleum, which was cool. But this is really good too. You know, it's just this is like '83. Their second album. First album came out in '82. But I'd never come across any of their stuff in a while, so I was really happy to find this. Really excited. I don't think I've shown this. I was really excited when I came across this. Thin Lizzy, Bad Reputation reissue on Back on Black. I'm not sure. It was like 2011 is when they reissued this album. And like Back on Black, like this album, packaging is fantastic. I found it used for like $11 or something, so I scarfed it up. Not the best pressing. It's quiet and everything, but it's just a bit muddy, a bit muffled, I guess. I don't know. Wasn't really happy with the sound of the pressing, but it's just it was too cool to pass up. And yeah, of course, when I found it, I didn't know what it was going to, the pressing was going to sound like, but happy to hang on to it. Hole Filler, Nazareth, Razmanaz. I've actually been looking for this for a while. Found it for $1. Grabbed it. It's a good album, man. I like Nazareth. Good 70s hard rock. That's like one of their bigger albums, and there'd been a hole in my collection for a while. Finally filled it. And this is just odd. If you've watched my channel, you know I like Japanese metal from the 80s. Just I'm weird like that. But as soon as I came across this, I was like, wow, that looks kind of cool. It looks like an old 70s TV show or something. And it's the soundtrack for X-Bomber. And that's pretty much what this is. It's the soundtrack to a TV show in the early 80s. It ran for one season. I looked up some information on it because I'd never heard of it. But why I picked it up is because Bow Wow is listed as, you know, the band. And basically Bow Wow is a pretty big Japanese metal band. They were Bow Wow. They were Bow Wow. Changed their name to Bow Wow because of the Bow Wow Wow band. And then they went back to Bow Wow after that band faded away. But and they got a ton of albums as both. And this is kind of cool. I mean, it's pretty much all instrumental, and I'm not sure. I think Bow Wow just does the theme, the main song, and the rest of it, you know, is just music from the show. But it was just too cool. It was kind of weird. I'd never seen this before. And Japanese import. Grabbed it. Cool for the collection. And I actually ended up digging it. Some of the music on it's really cool. You know, it's soundtrack music, but I dug it. And that's pretty much it. Like I said, most stuff it's been here for a while, just listening. I haven't been out digging. I don't know when I'll be out digging again. Getting back into the year here at work and everything, and hope everybody's doing well. And everybody's warming up on this part in this part of the country. It's just been crazy cold here. We got down to like 1 there for 2 nights. And I know I talked to Vance, and it was like 13 below with crazy wind chills up there in Chicago. It was like, wow. So, anyways, enough babbling. Happy 2014. Really looking forward to this year, and looking forward to the VC. Love it. Thanks to all the subscribers and all the comments, and look forward to seeing videos from everybody. Later.